Hey guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You can be here as a cross watcher for a Libra. Welcome. And if you're brand new to the channel, really happy you landed here. First thing on the top of my mind is I'm clicking record right when we're about to have some thunderstorms here. So if there's any interference, that's where it's coming from. Yikes. Tried to get here earlier, but couldn't make it in time, so we're going to just weather the storm. I am pulling from Starry Beginnings to activate the reading for you. Let's see what message. Card number 5, you are being called into service. Believe in your own guidance. 5 is numerologically a number of change, things that may be changing. And so if there's anything you feel you're being called to that somehow serves the greater good in some way, whether you're here as the Libra or not, this card can speak to you. Believe in your own guidance around that message. That's what's coming through here. It could represent a change, and sometimes change can bring instability. But in this case, it would be a shift for the better. So that's a nice message. I am going to jump right in since I'm trying to beat a storm here. And this is a different spread. It's I'll walk you through it. It's not super complicated, but little more focused on your person. So remember, it can come through reversed. All I mean to say by that is, though I'm doing a Libra reading, if you're here as the cross watcher, the messages may be directly for you. Okay? Let's see. So, your person's energy toward you. Ooh, yep, 7 of Cups, Devil, and the 4 of Wands. Wow. So this person is going through it at the moment. I feel like this is someone who may be a little overwhelmed by some fears that they're having. It could, the devil doesn't have to be anything nefarious. It does represent our egoic resistance, right? The ego tries to keep us small so we don't get hurt. And if this person is feeling like they're riding the wave of emotions and they're confused by it and all these options kind of pop up, the 7 of Cups is also about our imagination. Their imagination can be running away with them, causing some shadow element to come in, and sometimes we kind of self-manipulate. Right? So it does feel to me like, because your connection, the way that their energy toward you is thinking about beginnings of life partnership. They're imagining, what would that be like? What would a life with this person be like? And unfortunately, they have this little message in the back of their head saying, love never works out for me. I'm not built for that. Sometimes our ego gets the better of us, and that's what I think I'm seeing here. So it'll be interesting to go through and see what's happening here behind the scenes. What don't you know that might be really helpful, that you might need to know as to where this might be coming from. Wheel of Fortune, 7 of Wands, Knight of Wands, 4 of Swords. This person may not be fully healed yet from something else, or they may just be giving this a great deal of thought. We are coming out of Mercury retrograde now. Mercury is direct, but still in the shadow. So I often feel like this is where we're, that 4 of Swords, where this person may be connecting the dots and putting things together. I think that they're feeling a little pressured here, like the time is now. It's destined. We belong together. It's destiny. It's fate that brought us together, and therefore, on some level, they're thinking, well, You know, if everything, you know, is lining up, it should feel right. This is our fate. This is where we're supposed to be headed. But that can bring some pressure that would then lead to some resistance to the timing of it. That could be why their ego is shouting at them, you know, getting the better of them, in fact. But what I love here is I'm seeing a Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands can kind of be a passionate return. Like, you know, we've got desire in both of these cards. And the Seven of Wands is that desire to kind of, you know, hold something back that's kind of coming at them. And yet I feel they're going to override it. And the reason why is because of the Wheel of Fortune, which is a blessing, not a curse, and the Four of Swords, because they're kind of going to ground and giving it a lot of thought, reflection, reevaluating everything, reassessing the situation, considering, you know, reimagining even what this connection could evolve to. So now, where is your energy in this? So I'm going to say, where is your energy in this, Libra? But remember, you can be here as the cross watcher, and this can be you. Nine of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. There it is. Six of Wands. I like it. I'm going to just stick with these three. I feel like there's some anxiety on your part also. Because you are recognizing that this could be something that goes the distance. This could lead to life partnership, and so you're imagining that as well, and you're fraught with that, you know, almost it runs on a loop in your mind, doesn't let you rest. You kind of can't stop thinking about it. But what I like here for your energy and how it's fitting into everything is the Six of Wands. For some of you, this could be someone coming back, and there could be a reconciliation. For others, you know, or reunion. For others of you, though, that Six of Wands represents where we come to agreement, right? If we're not making peace about something here, we're kind of meeting we're coming with good intentions. We're coming in with honor and like, let's just kind of find our jumping off point. Where do we agree? What works for you that's also works for me? Because otherwise, if you stay worried, like you've got the Nine of Swords, they've got the Seven of Wands, and this person tends to kind of override their positive outlook with, oh, you can't have nice things. That's not going to work for you. What makes you think you deserve happiness? What makes you think you're ready to pull off a marriage or a long-term relationship? That's the way the devil gets in our head. And screws with us. So what I like for your energy coming in here is it's almost like you're saying to them energetically, don't worry, we'll meet in the middle. You know, you're not going to be pushed. We're going to have to come to agreement, and it's going to be a triumph for both of us. This is a victory card. Okay, so we'll come through it. We'll figure it out, what works for you, what works for me. Both of you, your feelings being validated, and you do so mutually. So that now let's see what the potential outcome is going forward for this situation. We have the Strength card. The only card that overcomes the devil is the Strength card. And the Eight of Wands. Yeah, the outcome is you can overcome anything through open communication, the sharing of your ideas, you know, keeping it positive, upbeat. That Eight of Wands can move fast, but the emphasis in the communication will be on how you help each other overcome those aspects that, you know, you're both shrinking back from. So it's like, how can, you know, help me help you, and then you get that help in return, and it's coming through some communication. Let's see what the advice is from Spirit. Three of Cups, Eight of Swords, one more please, Temperance. Okay, so Yeah, the Three of Cups is also a reconciliation card, but what I like about it is focus on, the good energies you bring to when you're together. So happier times, causes for celebration. How did you meet? You might have a little stuck energy. So what Spirit's saying is, if you feel stuck, number one, go with the flow, temperance, right? Don't push, just kind of, temper yourself, operate from some self-control and restraint. That's important. But if you're stuck, you also have the option to kind of keep it light, focus on just being around each other in a non-confrontational, non-threatening, non-pushy kind of a situation. It feels more social, like get out, go to dinner, go for drinks, or talk if you're not near each other in locale. Talk about what you're doing socially, like what are you doing? How are your friends or how is your family? And connect in that realm. The Three of Cups to me is like almost saying that more good will come from lightening the atmosphere and keeping it a little bit more engaged in positive exchanges of what's making you feel good, whether you're together in locale or not. And that's how to override any stuck energy where you're second guessing yourselves. And the other way to overcome that is the advice is to chill, go with the flow, right? Temperance tells us in time, everything comes into flow and balance anyway. So you might as well not be a stress monkey, and they might not want to be toying with their shadow energy right now. It's not called for. It's not necessary. So good communication about overcoming some obstacles, and those obstacles seem to be something for this person that they create for themselves. And then, you kind of mirror it a little bit with that Seven of Swords, with like that, oh my God. And the only way out is through, so that devil energy is met head on by the Strength card through your communication. You say, there isn't anything we can't overcome. So that's the lay of the land, okay? This is where we're jumping off from. In the extended, I am going to take it from this person's point of view and give you some information about their higher vibration versus their lower vibration, so you can recognize that and use it to your advantage. Their hidden energy, something they don't want you to know, but would be helpful. The message they have for you, what they do want to say, their thoughts and feelings about you, and their intentions. So that link is below. There's 3 options. Links 1 and 3 are memberships. Please hear me. I say it and people don't hear me. It's a monthly membership, and so it renews. Option 2 is just this extended one and done. So be sure when you click on a link that you read before you click buy, okay? I like to let people know what they're clicking and getting themselves into, because many of you don't seem to read it. So I got to tell you. Also, thank you if you are enjoying so far. Go ahead, subscribe below if you haven't done so yet. That's what keeps me on this platform. That's what I care about the most. I'm always in the comments. Feel free to comment. I reply. Like, share, save it as a favorite, whatever. But do subscribe. That's my request. All right, here we go. So, of course, I want to look at the Seven of Cups to the Devil. Page of Swords, lots of curiosity, 6 of Cups, and the 6 of Wands. I'm loving it. All right. So the good news is that they also, although it's in their unconscious awareness, they also are kind of thinking of that sort of moment of victory where you get to say, yeah, we pulled through it. We worked through it. We met in the middle. We compromised. We negotiated, whatever it is we did. And there's nothing lost here. It's all good. I know I hate that saying, but it's really a perfect way to size up that Six of Wands in this situation. This person, is really curious here with this Page of Swords. So they're doing some, due diligence. They're, the Page of Swords is sharp as a tack, lightning, quick-witted, and intelligent. And so they're maybe curious about, why am I so weird about this? What's all my emotions coming from? Why am I in my imagination and maybe catastrophizing a bit, right? Going to the dark side. I'm with this person that I belong with, my past life soulmate, Six of Cups. I feel so comfortable with this person, and like there's never really been a cause for me to be worried. And now all of a sudden I'm having a little, freak out. What is that about? And so obviously it's because they're taking the connection very seriously. So let me pull a card for that Four of Wands. Wow, jumped right out. Tower. Now you know why they're afraid. Now you know what the devil is doing here. Is this person's fear is that they will not be able to sustain a live-in relationship or a long-term relationship or an engagement or a marriage, right? Whatever that Four of Wands is speaking to you, you have to take it as it resonates for you because it's a general reading, not a private reading. And so where is the fear coming from? Where is the egoic fear and resistance coming from that's holding them back and causing them to freak out and flake out? It is because they fear the Tower, that it won't last, or that you're not on solid enough ground, right? That there are cracks in the foundation, whatever that is. That's what that's about. So now you understand that it's nothing terrible. It's just where someone goes in their head who is getting more serious about a connection, and then all those fears start flooding in. Will it last? Can we work things out? Is the foundation solid? Am I setting myself up for everything to fall apart? And so then what's happening in the background, though, that you don't really know about, but that might be helpful to explain this even further, is we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Wands, Queen of Swords, Knight of Wands again, and the Nine of Cups. I'm going to pull a card just for the Knight of Wands. Okay, so slow their roll. They're moving fast and they know it. Four of Swords. The Ace of Wands. So when they're thinking about things, when they're going to ground and they're really reflecting on things, they're seeing this as a new opportunity, reigniting this torch of passion, or bringing some motivation, inspiration, initiation into the connection. They may want to initiate something that would lead to life partnership, and so they're giving that a lot of thought. So that's interesting. Here we have their nature is to move fast, but that's causing them this little, they're glitching out. And so what I like about the Knight of Pentacles landing on it as a clarifier is, that's how do you solve for X, right? Here you go. Slow your roll. Begin with the end in mind. What do you want it to look like? Right? What would a happy marriage or a happy, engagement or live-in or long-term relationship look like? And then, reverse engineer it before you go in unprepared. That's the biggest detriment to the Knight of Wands, is they are often acting on their emotion and their passion in the moment, so they don't always have a plan. So this person is correcting for that by coming up with the plan. Doesn't mean they will come in with any less passion. They do have this Ace of Wands, but it means that they're going to make sure they're prepared, that they've thought it all through, and that when they come to you with any kind of offer, Knights make offers that it's legit, that it's tangible, that it's, it's been processed fully in real time. But here's the thing. We have this Queen of Swords. If I start here, we see this Queen of Swords landing, they're thinking the time is right. The time is now. We belong together. It's fate, whatever. And the Queen of Swords looking right at the Knight. Why do I struggle with that? The Knight. The Knight of Wands. Almost as if this person knows that if they come, prancing in fast and furious, you may have questions about that. You may actually be a little skeptical, because the Queen of Swords can see right through that. And so that Nine of Cups from the bottom of the deck is the problem here, because it sort of suggests that on some internal level, they may get a little complacent. They may say, well, maybe I should leave things as they are. And that builds into some resistance, right? That's when they kind of go, okay, well, maybe I'm just going to, push back on anything where I get challenged, or, feeling a little defensive maybe, or resistant. And that Nine of Cups within is almost like a little inner mantra. Calm down. Things are good. Everything feels fine. I don't have to rush this. I don't have to, move too fast. And, they're going to see right through it anyway. And so what's the solution to that is they just slow their roll. They just slow it down. They just get more methodical and deliberate and intentional, even though they're giving it a lot of thought and see this opportunity that they want to seize. So this person is kind of in a little bit of a sticky wicket, because they're seeing an opportunity that they don't want to let go by, and they're feeling the rightness of the timing. But, if they move too fast, will you be too skeptical? If they move too slow, will you then, think that they didn't really know what they wanted? So that's what's kind of causing them to process the Seven of Cups like that, all the options, all the possibilities, and really giving it a lot of thought. And then having that fear of things not being on solid enough ground, or, having enough stability between you to kind of kick off the beginnings of a life together. Now, bringing your energy into the mix, we've got you with some anxiety and about the future. Nine of Swords to the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. So something may have happened, because I'm getting both the forgiveness and second chances card with the Page of Cups, which is the apology, and underneath is the Strength card. So that's the overcoming the obstacles, and maybe you're coming in because there's been a little trouble in paradise in the past here. Maybe there is something in this person's nature with the Devil card there, that they tend to go to dark places or to behave more manipulatively when they feel they're being pushed, or maybe, something about that Devil feels more behavioral, more instinctive for this person. And it may be that you're worried about, can we overcome what has happened before? Can we have, am I going to get the apology? Am I going to get a message from the heart? Are they going to tell me how they really feel? And can we seek that second chance and some form of reconciliation? As I said, this is a reconciliation card too. So is the Six of Wands, and that's coming out here twice. So if you have something in this connection that has caused a bump in the road, that may be where your worries are coming from with regard to building something long-lasting. And it's legitimate, but they're picking up on it energetically. They are picking up on it. So your energy is very important. It's adding into the mix. That's why they know they can't come in racing in like that Knight of Wands. Because you won't trust it. You'll see right through it. You'll think that's too impulsive. You're acting too fast. You're acting on impulse, and you're not really thinking things through. So now, for how things might unfold going forward, we have the Strength card to the Eight of Wands. Really powerful. Two of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. Interesting that in the background, sort of behind the scenes, you're both having this moment of clarity. And there might need to be some important truths revealed. Probably on both sides, because what I'm seeing here is for the potential going forward is, how do you pull together? And one, you got to consider timing. Seven of Pentacles is also a timing card. It's more about organic time, things unfolding more organically than being guided, sort of like the Wheel of Fortune is there's a bigger plan and there are bigger forces in the universe. The Seven of Pentacles is in the here and now. Let's tend this garden. Let's make sure we're, really taking care and not rushing things and letting some things evolve organically, because in your communication, you may both reveal, Ace of Swords, that, you're on the fence about some things. Can we overcome this? Well, I'm not sure. Some days I think we can. Some days I think we can't. Let's assess realities on the ground, what we're really dealing with, what we're really ready for, and then not put any pressure on and say, okay, we'll take what we've just revealed and uncovered and communicated, and we'll plant those seeds. Okay, and we'll the day you plant the seed is not the day the garden grows. So as things evolve and you kind of get back on that solid footing and feel really comfortable about the growth that you've seen, then you take the action, then you revisit the conversation. But I almost feel like what I'm seeing here is something here is a bit of a concern for both of you. And the conversation will go a long way if you relieve the pressure from any kind of feeling torn or on the fence or undecided energy. If you relieve that pressure by being honest about it, number one, revealing certain truths, certain clarity or insight, or even if you both have an epiphany at the same time, the Ace of Swords can be that, oh, why didn't I see that? Right? You may both have that happen at the same time. And the Seven of Pentacles is really going to be the kicker here, because that's where you say, well, now that we know, we don't need to rush. I'm glad we had this conversation. We're planting those seeds for what we imagine could be a really powerful, long-lasting connection, long-lasting relationship, leading to something very committed and long-term. But we don't need to rush that. If we have some areas where we're not sure, we need to overcome those first. And we need to help each other. I love it. And I love that you have the Strength card twice. Once from the bottom of the deck, from coming from your energy. So that's already in your unconscious awareness, is can we overcome this? And in the outcome potential, that's the communication. The only way we can overcome it is if we pull together and give ourselves time so that we don't have any questions or concerns or doubts. I love it. And then the message from Spirit, the advice, Three of Cups to the Eight of Swords, Queen of Wands, Hanged Man, there's the Devil again. So I feel the advice is wise. It's basically saying, Queen of Wands, I'm feeling that's your energy. It's almost suggesting that take a little bit of a leadership role. You're already going to draw this person to you. It's like you kind of can't help it. Moths to a flame, as I describe her, but also in that leadership role, without really saying it, you're kind of feeling very empowered. And you take that energy of empowerment and feeling strong and you apply it to the Three of Cups, because you can know, you know how you know when something's heading in a really good direction. But there are little blips that have to, like, you know, there are little bumps in the road that you got to kind of sort through. But you know, well, we got this. But they may not, right? If this person has tendencies toward, you know, some kind of affect or behavior or mental processing that kind of causes them to be more doubtful or more fearful, then in that leadership role, you know, well, we're going to keep this positive, fun, engaging. You know, the times we spend together will be less intense and more joyful. Let's focus on the joy. Let's focus on how good it feels to be together and find outings or things to do or things to talk about if you're long distance that take you in that direction to it, so it doesn't always get too heavy. We've got the Hanged Man here, which is a good note from Spirit of, you know, and sometimes you just need to press pause. Sometimes you need to evaluate things. I see it as a perspective card. Life looks very different when you're hanging upside down, is what I love to say about that Hanged Man. It's Neptune. Neptune is our spiritual guide. And there, as we're waiting for some enlightenment, we kind of want to look at everything with a fresh perspective, with a mature perspective. Because especially if you're dealing with someone behind the scenes that falls into phases of doubt or insecurity or egoic fear or resistance, and then what happens is everything freezes. We've got second guessing, you know, self-doubt, you know, the woulda, coulda, shouldas. The Eight of Swords can also be, I don't think I deserve or can have nice things. That also works in tandem with the devil. Usually when we see the devil that's just coming through as egoic fears or resistances, or those, you know, when we're being very self-punishing, it often is accompanied by some kind of frozen, stuck energy. It brings us to a screeching halt. So it's beautiful to have the Hangman there that says, well, we're just going to press pause on this and focus on the fun and the good energy. So I'm almost seeing you coming in here as more of being that you have this awareness. Now, what you do with it is kind of just between you and what you know, and me and the cards that came through. You don't have to talk about that. You sort of posture. You know when to just play it light and fun. And then wait for that enlightenment, and also kind of look at the whole thing, because Temperance is your friend here. It is about spiritual wisdom. It's of like a higher octave of Sagittarius, where the Knight of Wands would be the I got it right, would be the, you know, the lower octave of Sagittarius, which is very impulsive and fast moving and, you know, gets easily bored, so doesn't stay in one place too long. Temperance is the higher octave, the more mature, the spiritually wise, and it tells you don't worry about it, just, you know, stay in the flow of it all and focus on reducing fears by just, you know, calling it as you see it. Like, well, you know, let's just talk about what's good. Like, let's know more about what brings out the best in each of us. And that Three of Cups is also that energy of reconciliation as well. So you may need to spearhead that. You may need to be the one that's in the leadership role, kind of drawing this person in, right, to some kind of communication that I know you're worried about right now, that could find a way to this person really expressing their feelings, not in a big grandiose way, small, gentle, loving messages that you know ring true. Sincerity, right, is what you'll be after. That will go a long way to helping you find that place of peace and forgiveness and redemption and second chances, and overcoming anything that came before that's causing some of these fears and doubts in this person, you may be able to dispel it and help them get out of the prison of their own making just by going with the flow and kind of working the strings behind the scenes. That's not to say that you're not honest. It's to say that you have more information here than this person needs to know that you have, because it is about helping this person that you love dearly and they love you, and helping them not be their own worst enemy. So it's a real important supportive role. That is what I have for you for this part of the reading, Libra, or whoever you are. I am going to give you the astrology. Don't forget, subscribe below if you haven't done so yet. If you like the reading, if you like my style, if you've been watching for a while and you just forgot about it, it's free. Go ahead and subscribe. Click the little bell. And then don't forget that the links are below to the extended, and in that one, we'll take it deeper still. Okay, so here is our page. I'm going to give you the main spread cards first. The Devil is Capricorn. That actually came out twice. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. The Knight of Wands, Sagittarius. I'm telling you, Libra, if you have, or whoever you are, if you're here as a Sagittarius, ding, ding, ding. If you have Sagittarius in your chart, or your person does, that's extra added confirmation. Here's the Strength card, which also came out twice. That is Leo energy. And then we have, wait for it, more Sagittarius in the Temperance card. So we've got a lot of Sag energy here. In the clarifiers, Page of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Tower is Mars, which rules Aries. We have the Queen of Swords is Libra. Knight of Wands again, so that's out twice. We have the Knight of Pentacles is Virgo's energy. Page of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Judgment is Pluto, which rules Scorpio. And that Strength card, as I said, came out again. We have the Queen of Wands is some Aries energy. The Hanged Man is Neptune, which rules Pisces. And that second hit of the Devil card. And yeah. And don't forget, you are being called into service. I almost feel that's coming from that Queen of Wands. Is not normally a service card, but your service here is leadership. Believe in your own guidance and your ability to guide this person and yourself to something potentially long-lasting and beautiful. Okay, so that's what I have. I'm headed to the extended. I'll see you there in a second. Bye for now.